And the camera on? Oh, okay, okay. Hello, my name is Mr. Coconut from the How Art Yes No Except song, or we call it Haynes. So we have been encountering weird art in the modern days, and not only in the modern days, but of course during the 20th century there are also really weird art. But there's a particular art that I want to discuss about with you that me and my friend end up fighting. It is called the ornament VI. Here's the picture. Now if you get it, when I don't, to please contact me what it is about. And we had a meeting about what the picture is about and how it is worth $44 million. Yeah, $44 million for that art. Art. And they call it art. It's a disgrace, you know. How can my culture call this art? I really don't get it. Now I'm gonna show you a clip of our meeting. So this is the art that we got. I got, from the auction in the, Salt Bay.
And South Bay, New York.
Yeah, you know how much this is auctioned for?
How much?
$44 million. Can you believe it?
$44 million?
Yeah, of course not. Of course, yes.
Are you crazy?
No, I'm not really. I'm only half crazy. So I really don't know how this costly, like $44 million. But maybe if we try to interpret it, we might see that other people cannot see it. I mean, in the outside, it shows you a straight white line and a blue background.
Like me. It's painted by Bernard Newman in 1953. Dimensions are 8.5 times 10 inch.
Oh, I see. But I really don't know how come this kind of art is valuable for $44 million. Maybe we need an expert on this.
Like who?
I know the perfect guy.
Konnichiwa, you magnificent chromosomes, and welcome back to that episode where I don't know what I'm talking about. So let's talk about horses. And horses. Oh. Someone's at the door. Let's go and check. I wonder who it would be. I really wish Santa Claus would give me that ponytail that I've always wanted. Oh. What are you, man? I'm some Santa Claus. I can just get Santa Claus now. Mama? What the? Okay, I'm awake. Okay, what do you want from me? Whoa, how did you get here? Are you from the park or something?
Hey, you.
Yeah, what do you want from me, kid?
Join Haynes. It's the best group organization ever.
That's right.
No.
Do you even know what Haynes stands for?
No.
How could you not know that? It is a very human thing to say.
Because I'm sleepy. I don't know.
Oh, okay, here's the deal, kiddo.
Is this a job interview or something? So this is an interrogation?
No, it isn't. It is an invitation to join our club.
Just shut up, okay? Just shut up. You say one more thing, I'll punch your head off.
Okay. Okay.
You're the well-known Cruddy Carl, Professor Cruddy Carl.
Whoa!
We have.
Whoa! Things just
I said shut up.
You're well known in the world.
Things just got from 0 to 100 real quick here. And if only you have 10,000 chromosomes to donate on me, I'm gonna join you. Y'all crazy, I'm out of here. Peace!
Kid wicked, kid wicked, kid wicked.
Why isn't it working?
Hello. At last you're here. Now, we need you to solve.
Wait.
Ah, thanks, Coconut. Okay, we need you to summon and capture Professor Kruddy Carl. Get it?
Yes! Who are you?
What do you want?
Girl our age and she was very popular.
So here we are now trying to interpret art. I've gathered my friends from the Kid Wicked. I think based on our interpretation, it's still too low. We'll need to go to other worlds.
Using his powers.
Yeah, using Seymour's powers. So Seymour, I guess we're gonna have to travel to the TOK world to interpret this art and see what makes this valuable for $44 million.
Okay, so in order to go to the TOK world, let's put our hands in the middle and do this.
Right, so
Okay.
So we're in the TOK world, right?
Right, yeah, we are.
Oh, right, now let's go find that art. Hey, who's that?
Welcome to Harry Potter world.
You failed us, Seymour.
Well, we have some errors, but we have just to try again.
Yeah, we just need to try again.
Yep. Hard
Yeah.
work and dedication.
Yeah. And love. Okay. Why do I feel so sad?
I feel kind of empty.
I just want to go home.
We're probably in the wrong land again.
You just brought us.
Bring me home.
That's why, if you want to go home, let's do the same procedure again. You remember what the drill by now.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're in the Gala realm right
Let's do it.
now.
Bring me home.
Yeah. Let's get back. Right. So.
Wait. What are we doing here?
I think we're in the wrong world again.
We're finally in the TOK world.
Yeah, I told you I get here.
Where everything makes sense. So, let's start discussing about the Ottoman VI.
I was wondering why that art can be sold for $44 million.
That's the
Yes,
issue.
I mean, like-
yes, that's important thing.
I can build a time travel machine with that amount of money.
Yeah, I can build a school for Africa. Well, maybe there are several other reasons that it's not relevant to the art. Maybe there's something behind the story of someone buying it. What if it's not about the art? What if it is about the $44 million?
Well, I can
I have a question, a really good question that I want both of you to answer.
Right.
So, to what extent does emotion and personal experience affect how people judge the value of art?
Well, I believe that they don't.
What? That's delusional, Liz. They do. Emotion does play a role.
No, that's delusional. They don't play a role.
But of course, emotion does play a role on of course the value of art. We can't simply just buy art like even for only $44. If it doesn't have any meaning towards us, it's just like buying wasting money. Like most of the thing I buy.
So, what you mean is emotion and personal experience does actually play a role.
Of course.
Or else who would buy those things?
Not in just the value of art, in the
Yeah.
development of creating an art.
Yeah,
Emotion plays a
except for
huge
you,
role.
You buy junk, literally.
Well,
Yeah.
last time I buy it was my wife, but yeah.
Yeah.
But please do enlighten us further. I mean, one of the reasons why it wouldn't affect is because people buy it because it's artistic. People see those lines, maybe they think it's artistic in some way, maybe it's perfect somewhat thing for them. Maybe it really gives a good feeling towards the people.
Yes,
a kind
that's
of
why.
contour kind of texture for them that makes them want to buy it instead of just like buying it directly from how they believe they have experienced before instead.
Well, but it also occurred that the feelings granted towards the art and towards the person from the art, of course, affects the human emotion. And basically, maybe, just maybe you're right that emotion does not play a role.
Well,
It may lead to that point.
I mean, Seymour has a point, you know. There are lots of reasons why emotion does not necessarily play a role in how people see the value of art.
Yes, as much as I want to say I'm correct, that's correct as well. But let's hear the reason.
Yeah, why?
People can also use it for bragging.
Yeah,
Right.
People sometimes want to brag about their art. I mean, why would someone buy such a expensive art? Why else would they do it? They want to show how much
Yeah, for
money
a
they have.
straight line.
Yeah, but
Straight
it's still
line.
it's still a show of wealth. I mean, if the person's literally rich, like Bill Gates,
Yeah.
they'll just spend all that money for showing how rich they are.
Yeah.
Look, there are lots of art collectors in this world, and you know what they do? They like to brag their collections. Like, look at your glasses. It's a limited 1950s
That's right.
vintage edition.
This glass shows a lot of stories behind it.
I do. I was gonna go next to my point of selling and reselling those kinds of artwork. And I'm gonna be bringing the next one in because the selling and reselling has become very popular lately within that kind of industry, especially since a case of money laundering. Have you heard? In Malaysia, there was a case like that, and the person who was named Hamima Idris had that already occurred before. She was accused of doing that money laundering, and she was caught and fined and jailed. And that is an example of how reckless people's actions are. That can happen.
See? Seymour knows a lot more than you.
Well, basically, from what Seymour said, we can clearly see that the reason why the girl bought art, it's not because it grants feelings or emotion towards her.
it's not.
It's because she just wanted to launder the money. She wanted to go to the laundry with the money. Currently, we have two arguments that emotion does affect the value of
And it
art.
does not affect the value of art.
Yes, Seymour.
I think that Seymour has a point, and Credit Carl definitely has a point, but then I think that emotion does play a role. I mean, like some people can interpret that art to be like, I don't know, it maybe something to do with their family. Maybe the blue represents how their family used to have a blue house by the sea, and the white line represents, I don't know, it can be really subjective.
Well, if that's the case, let us try to interpret the art our own way. Okay, so if you see the art, what does it mean to you, that straight damn line?
Looks like a zipper.
So based on my perspective, a way of knowing that I can see from this straight line is, of course, imagination. We can imagine anything from the straight line. We can see that straight line as a peaceful hive. It's white. it's peaceful. It represents science because lab coats are white. The blue represents the ocean, maybe. Or it could also represent sadness. So life is straight, but it's covered with sadness.
In my perspective, I think it represents a kind of a road with no end. Because it seems to go on and on the line when you see it.
Not necessarily.
About it.
It's
It's
It's only
perspective.
eight-
It's perspectives. It's perspective.
it's only 8.5.
It's an interpretation.
Yes,
There's no
it's
wrong
interpretation.
answers here.
But when you look at it closely, you can't really say the size. I mean, generally it just seems to go on, and on the sides, I could actually agree that it looks like oceans.
Ah,
So.
yeah. Basically, it's a toll road if you see it.
Yes, surrounded by oceans.
So where does this bring us?
That emotion can and cannot play a role into seeing the value of art. It all depends
Upon perspective.
upon perspective.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I mean,
Well, why?
some art critiques they only see the techniques and artistic styles and all those kind of things. The more criteria perspective one.
Without emotion.
Yeah, without emotion. For example, like in maths, 1 plus 1 is 2, right? There's evidence, there's proof, there's criteria that 1 plus 1 is 2. And like, for example, an art that uses stippling. Stippling, you know stippling, right?
Yeah, the one that goes like this, right?
Yeah, just like that. You go on and on for one room, and you splash a paint bucket. Which one do you
Yeah.
think is harder and more tiring and more worth the value?
But we can also say that emotion does play a role. I mean, like, if someone's overly attached to an art, they become loyal to it. Just like why people buy Samsung or iPhone, they like their products. Not because their product's actually good or meaningful, but they like it because of the brand or just because of their loyalty.
Oh.
And like just like weeaboos, just like animes, you know those people who really like animes, and once you talk dirty about animes, they'll go full hunter mode on you, and they'll start typing on the internet real quick and breathing real quick.
But come on. But come on. Then again, we cannot forget all the evidence that we have said previously.
Well, actually, like, let me ask you something. Who's your favorite author?
Would be J.K. Rowling.
So, would you buy a book if J.K. Rowling, let's say, published a new one?
I would.
See?
It's loyalty.
Loyalty and sentimental value towards the artist himself, or herself in this case. Well,
I appreciate her work more than I would say
See?
emotionally attached.
that's why some people might have a sentimental value, an emotional value towards the artist. In this case, in the Onman VI case, like the person who bought this art may have some feelings towards the artist himself. One more thing, whilst we're still in the TOK world, before it's all gone. Remember that story where the guy wanted to buy this art for charity and then he decided not to because it's not worth it and so on. Yeah. Can you explain? I think that's important.
Grand Marshal Ramachandra. He told me a story about him wanting to buy a $60 priced artwork, but that he thought it was $30 only. So he wanted to buy it for $30, but then he realized it's $60, it's not worth it. So in another conclusion, we can say that actually the value of art might actually affect the emotion towards a person because he's supposed to buy that art for charity.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's another possible explanation.
Mr. Krokenrad, are you making tea?
No.
Are you making coffee?
No.
So, you're just drinking water?
I'm making water.
So anyways,
We came back and we want to tell you what we got up so far.
and we're gonna give you a conclusion. So don't worry. Please, Tim, tell them our conclusion.
Well, so, according to me, emotion does not play a role in how people judge the value of art. Because I think that there are lots of art critiques and they just appreciate how
The techniques that are
the
used.
artist appreciate how the artist makes his choices
Yeah.
and so on and so on. And like I think as what Seymour explained previously.
Yes.
Oh, you were not there. I'm sorry. Well, Seymour explained that there was this Malaysian person that buys art and uses art just for money laundering, and there are lots of other people who just buys and sells art for a living and not for actually appreciating and
For business.
enjoy. Yeah, it's for business.
Yeah, for
And-
laundering money and those stuff.
Yeah, and also some people buy art for prestige and they just want to show off how rich they are, how many expensive things they have, and so on and so on. Now, what do you think, guys?
Well,
Yes, I'm agree with him. I mean, I was on the side of not agreeing with the fact that art is affected by emotion from the beginning. So I still stand by my point, and I believe that I have pointed out, as was pointed out earlier, that there are so many things that we have seen until now that has disproved the claim that art is affected, which we have usually have seen over a long time. The laundering news was the biggest one we've seen so far, and we believe that that is one of the biggest clips we have so far, as in why it is not supported. What do you think?
well, I still like to stand with my point that emotion does play a role in making value of art. So basically, most of the reason why people actually appreciate art or like this art is because how it grants an emotion and feelings towards the person. If you watch a movie, if the movie's good, well, it's good to you, but it might not be as good to others. Just like me, I love the Last Airbender. I mean, like, people have perspectives, they have different opinions, and of course it comes back to emotion and how it brings people emotions, just like that Ottoman VI, how that is $44 million. It's because why people think it is $44 million is because maybe how emotion is affecting the person who buy it. So now we've given you a conclusion. Give us 10,000 chromosomes that you promised. Give us the money, bunny, and yeah, give us the money.
Come on, you abducted us.
Give us money, man. Give us money. Give us money, man. Give us.
I'm out of here. This isn't even my TOK presentation.